a nigga hit the lottery, so when you going up, how can you plummet? Damn, you stun it. On the land, when you expand the grands, they understand who run it. In the jam, you brung it. Coming from all the fans, the Kansas City man do.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Bossy, and today I am here with a story time video. This actually happened, I want to say the end of 2017, so it is a more recent situation that happened. But before I get into it, I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers, and hey to all my old subscribers, what's good, y'all? Welcome to my channel, Just Boss. And also, if y'all are wondering about this hair, just before we get into it, because I know somebody gonna come say something about it or mention the hair or whatever the case, I just have it up in a full bun or in a top bun. The hair is from Julia Hair, and you guys, this is actually a 360 frontal wig that I made. I love how the unit came out using this hair. I actually do have a video on how I applied this unit to my head, and it's bomb. I have, well, they gave me 3 bundles, but I have 2 bundles in my head, a 18 and a 20, and like 2 little strips of the 16, and then my whole 360 frontal around. Y'all, I love how my hair is looking. It was down, but I wanted to put it up, you know, for the video. So yeah, check them out, and also check out my video on how I apply my 360 frontal wig. And I will leave all their information down below in the description box if y'all want to try out some of this hair, this bombness. I love how this hair looks. Okay. But anyway, let's get into this story time. So you guys, where to start? So you guys, as you all know, I have 5 children, and 3 are girls, 2 are boys. And my youngest daughter, Akila, she's actually in the 5th grade. And out of all my kids, she's my more quiet, more timid child. She's had issues in the past because she's so quiet that people want to test my daughter, meddle with her, and you know, she tries to brush it off. So I guess recently there had been a girl at her school that felt like she wanted to test my daughter to see how far she could go. She already knows my daughter's quiet, and don't get me wrong, I know my daughter is not an innocent person all the time. I'm sure when people say stuff to her, she responds back. You know, she does do that. She might be quiet and shy, but if you do say something to her, she will say something back, but it never really gets to physical altercations. So, and she's 10. I guess this particular day they were in the classroom and the girl was messing with her, and her and my daughter had been going back and forth in the class, talking about each other, this and that, talking about each other or whatever. And so then I guess the girl got to the point where she felt like it was time for her to put her hands on my daughter. So she actually like mushed my daughter super hard in her head, and as a result, my daughter hit her in the face open hand. And in turn, it resulted into a scuffle. They began to fight, and yeah, it was a pretty bad fight. And the thing was, when this happened, I was at work, of course, and my phone, this phone likes to act janky sometimes. I have the Galaxy S7, and I don't know if it's just Sprint or if it's the phone, but when this fight happened, the school tried to notify me, but I didn't get any type of notification that I had a missed call, a voicemail notification, anything. I did eventually after the fact, but anyway, I didn't have this. I didn't know. So anyway, I happened to get off work early that day. I went and picked my son up from daycare, and I got home before all the kids got home, and you know, I just was chilling at home relaxing. So my 2 oldest daughters, they come home from school. So normally my youngest daughter, who was actually in this altercation, and my oldest son, they get home probably almost an hour after my oldest 2. So all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there. It's probably 30 minutes before they should be home. And Terrence, he calls me. Terrence is my fiance. He calls me and he's like, did you know you have to pick up Akila from school? And I'm like, no, why? I haven't got any phone calls or voicemails. Why do I have to pick her up from school? And he was like, she just got into a really bad fight at school. So I'm like, as soon as I hear the word fight and my daughter Akila, my blood starts to boil, like seriously boil. And so I'm like, what you mean a fight? Akila, what you mean she got into a fight? And he was like, you need to go up there. The school will not let her get on the school bus to go home. You have to go up there to actually pick her up. They said they've been trying to call you. They called me. And I'm like, what? They ain't called me. So finally, I'm like, okay, let me go see what's going on. So I hurry up and throw my shoes or whatever on, and I jump in my car. Then Bob calls me as soon as I jump in the car. And he's like, you about to go get Akila? And I'm like, yeah, I just got notification of what's going on. They said they've been calling me, but my phone was messed up, so I hadn't gotten any voicemails or calls. He was like, well, I'm up the street from the school, so I'll pick her up. So I'm like, all right. I said, just make sure you bring my daughter home. So I go back in the house and I turn my phone off, turn it back on. All these missed calls is coming through my phone, not even just from her school, but just from all kind of places. My voicemails are coming through from Bob, from Terrence, from the school. And I don't even know how Terrence was able to call. You know what? I know how Terrence was able to call me. He called my oldest daughter's phone. That's how I talk to him. Yeah, I talk to him on my oldest daughter's phone. I go in the house or whatever, and all of this, I'm telling y'all, I actually have footage of it because it happened when I was vlogging for my family vlog channel, Bossy's Life. So y'all can see when she came in the house, how her hair looks, how everything looks, and everything like that. I'm sitting in the living room with my sons, and my oldest daughter's in there talking to me. And my oldest daughter's like, Mama, I think Keela's here. I heard somebody pulling into the driveway. So our side door was unlocked or whatever, and she walks in the house. And I get up to talk to her like, what happened? As soon as she walks in the house, she starts bawling. And I cannot stand for my babies to cry from something that's happened to them. You know, unless they on punishment and you cry, that you shouldn't have did what you was doing. But she walks in and she's just crying, and I just hold her and I'm like, Keela, what's wrong? It's okay, you're not in trouble. Because from what I've been told, from what Terrence told me, from what Bob told me, from the voicemail that I heard, once the mushing started from the other girl and my daughter slapped her with her hand, open hand, they started fighting, and the girl was, you know, they were fighting like grown women. From what the principal says, it was rough. It was hard to get them apart. It was really rough. First thing I say is, you're not in trouble. It's okay. You were defending yourself. You're not in trouble. Yes, you know, I don't want her fighting at school, but if somebody is doing something to you, of course I want you to defend yourself. Words is one thing, but putting your hands on somebody, you don't do that. I did tell her I kind of wish she did say something to the teacher, or the teacher should have been watching, but it's neither here nor there. It doesn't happen now. So I'm talking to her, and then all of a sudden I look at her head and I'm like, her hair braids are like lifted. Her hair is all just, it's a mess. I look and there's blood in her head, and there's a big bald spot like that, clean, with no hair. When I tell y'all, and y'all, it don't make it no better, my oldest daughter was, did you win? She's like, I'm trying to console my daughter, trying to find out what's going on, while this big knucklehead daughter of mine is over here, did you win? It, you know, just trying to figure out little stuff. You know how siblings are. But anyway, I talk to my daughter, try to calm her down, let her know it's okay. You know, I try to fix her hair the best that I can, but I was hot. I end up calling the principal to figure out what was what, because their school, and which I don't think any school tolerates fighting, but I think fighting is a really big no at their school. Basically, she was suspended for a day. Also, the other girl was. And because my daughter has never had any situations at school, she's a really good student. She's really smart, has good grades and everything like that. They did have to give her a day of suspension due to the severity of their fight. And then, of course, I had to have a conference with her mother, which I did have. I mean, it went okay. You know, the girls apologized. And, you know, I was trying to be an adult, because I just kept getting flashbacks in my daughter's head. Now they're saying it was they was play fighting, all this craziness. Play fighting always leads to me, I feel like it can always lead to real fighting, and in this case it did. But my daughter tells me still the girl didn't like her and she was messing with her. So I don't know, but it was resolved. She hasn't had any issues since. Now I guess the little girl is trying to be her friend and this is that. They're 5th graders. I don't remember how it was for me in 5th grade. I know I had drama with girls, but her mom was a really good parent. I mean, she apologized very, very much for, you know, what took place. She was very concerned. I mean, she wasn't one of them like ghetto mamas that just was like, you know, didn't care, didn't seem to feel like what her daughter did was wrong. And I told her, you know, they both were wrong because they shouldn't have been playing or doing anything like that at school anyway. So yeah, y'all, some of y'all wanted me to do this story time. It wasn't, I mean, it wasn't, I don't know if I should say typical story time with a bunch of comedy or whatever, or oh my God moments. But yeah, that's what happened. Like I said, if y'all want to see some of the footage of it, it is actually on my family vlog channel, Bossy's Life. So yeah, that is what happened. My daughter's okay now, but I did tell her, and I tell all my kids this: if someone is bothering you, words shouldn't hurt you to where you want to harm somebody, bodily harm. I tell them, try to overlook that. If they continue to do it, tell the teacher, tell an adult that is around so they can resolve the situation. That way you don't have to be put in the situation you were put in. What else? You know, I just told her, you know, just try to look at other options before physical harm. But I told her, if somebody is putting their hands on you, I feel it is everyone's right to defend their self. Now, I'm not saying go get a gun and do some crazy foolishness, but I'm still saying you should be able to defend yourself. And I instill that in all my kids, but I do prefer them go talk to an adult first so that they don't have to go down that route as well. But yeah, that's what happened. You know, I've gotten over it. My daughter's bald spot has grown back. Sorry, y'all. My camera died, so I don't know if I even look the same. That was the story that a lot of y'all requested, mainly from my vlog channel, for me to do, because I only do story times on this channel. So that is what happened. It was resolved with a reasonable parent, with the principal, with the school. I know stuff happens, but that is the time that my daughter got into a fight. I don't know how I'm about to title this because YouTube be tripping off of certain titles and whatnot. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, loves.